Hi, my name is Marcus McGee.
All right, and who are you playing dressed up as?
Oh, well, I mean, we are ourselves, so we like this division of basically North Texas. So
this is Mark Bristow. I am the founder of the Texhoma Ghostbusters, founded about a year ago.
My name is Brandon LaFleur, the handsomest of the trio. Thank you.
All right, well, so he claims. So why are y'all guys doing this? What made y'all want to start being Ghostbusters?
Well, I've always been a fan of the movie since I was a kid. I was about 2 years old when it came out. I was born in '82, and I've had. Well, really, it started out, I was trying to think of something with my old Jeep Grand Cherokee I've had about 7 years prior, and I noticed that a lot of states, different cities have their own like Ghostbuster, like charity-based groups that do fundraisers for children and special needs kids, hospitals, things like that. And I was trying to think of something to do, and it just kind of made sense. So before I really even thought it out, I started working on my vehicle and doing a little work on it, getting it painted, and I had the first version of it done in about a month. I guess it was March of last year.
Yeah. So we probably should have started with that. You've probably seen the car around town. It's the Ghostbusters. You said Grand Cherokee.
Yeah,
it's got the Ghostbusters logo and all the stuff on top. It's totally decked out.
Yeah, I call it the Ecto SRV, a supernatural response vehicle. I think it kind of fits the character of the local area, sort of an off-road type vehicle, because we don't live in a big city environment, so it's more practical for like rural locations. I mean, like I said, the whole point of it is to sort of create the idea of a franchise spin-off of a corporate Ghostbusters based in New York City. You know, like it's 30 years later and they're corporatized.
Well, that makes sense.
We're like your local franchise.
Yeah, now I've seen the car, so I know what it looks like, but can you explain a little what's special about it? Like, what's on top? What all do you have to do to make it work?
Well, I tried to replicate the first film as close as I could with just common items I would track down. Of course, the movie car had access to lots of surplus from the 70s that really isn't accessible now, the air tanks, things like that. They're really hard to track down. So I replicated most of that using just common items from stores locally. I combined elements from the first movie car and the second movie car to sort of create a modern twist of it, like it's evolved since then into the current vehicle. It has 2 light bars. They're both Code 3 bars. It has an airline type strobe in the middle, deck lights, things like that, and a satellite dish.
Do you get in a lot of trouble from the cops? They follow you around in the same?
I've absolutely no issues with our police officers. No, they've actually been really cool about it. So
that's nice to hear. Always.
Yeah. I think, I mean, honestly, someone driving that around, what do I have to hide? You know,
and it's gonna draw attention no matter what. So.
Yeah, and I mean, though, it's not. No one's trying to impersonate a police officer. We know those lights are. We don't turn those on the road.
Yeah,
that's not what they're for. Parade events. Only, you know what I mean, but never on the road. That's not the purpose of any of this. That'd be very wrong to do something like that.
So, well, we've seen the Grand Cherokee, the one you use now. Do you have any future plans to kind of get something more closely resembling the movie cars going?
Well, actually, we do. See, the Texhoma Ghostbusters are we're affiliated with the Tulsa, Oklahoma Ghostbusters groups. The head of that is Chris Carlson and Raul Rosario. They're like the heads of that group, and they have their own Cadillacs projects they're working on. Which the movie car is a 1959 Cadillac Miller Meteor Futura, a very rare car. They actually have one in their possession. They have a 1960 kind of a similar model, and they had a 1963 Superior Crown Royale Rescuer, which is just a big 22-foot Cadillac ambulance. And they had this extra car, and they weren't really sure what they wanted to do with it since they all had different vehicles to work on. So they ended up basically selling it to me for a good price. And my goal is to fix this car up to get as close to the movie car as I can, reasonably. But the car needs a lot of work. It spent a lot of its life, I believe, on the coast or in Virginia, and it was taking a lot of salt water, so it's got some rust problems.
It looks like it. And you'll be able to see pictures of it on our website, 1063thebuzz.com. So let's keep talking here. Marcus, excuse me.
Yeah.
What made you get involved with the group? How'd they catch your attention? Obviously the car, but...
Well, the car was the main reason. I was like, oh, man, that is so cool, and I seen it drove around town here and there. I had been talking to Mark about the idea, and I'm always a guy that's like, oh, yeah, let's do it, but once he showed me the Proton Pack, I was sold. I was like, take my money. Let's go to the store. Let's make one, and I'm down for whatever you want me to do. Just give me one of those, what you have on your back.
So you've got to be a fan of the movie.
Oh, yes. I'm a really big fan of the movie. It's like one of my top 10 favorite movies. Back to the Future is my first, but Ghostbusters is close.
A DeLorean in the works or anything?
Oh, what's up?
You got any plans for a DeLorean in the works?
Maybe later.
Talk about that.
Yeah. When I get it, that'd be another project we're doing. Probably about 3 or 4 years prior. So my car is actually about to go bye-bye. So yeah.
That's how we can start. Brandon, what got you in with the group?
Well, I've known Mark for like 14, 15 years now. So I've been an accomplice in many a harebrained scheme. So this is just Tuesday for me,
Totally.
But and this one, he kind of just messaged me and was like, "Hey, I'm going to start building this Ghostbusters car, turning my Jeep into the Ghostbusters car." And I was a little skeptical at first. I was like, "Yeah, right," because you know, saying is one thing, but actually going through and taking your day-to-day, go to the grocery store and back car, and convert it into a Ghostbusters vehicle is just something else entirely. So even after he painted it and he was really talking about doing all this stuff, I was still kind of skeptical. But then, well, there's the end result. And if you could have told me like 15 years ago, like, yeah, you and Mark are still going to be hanging out and cruising around in a Ghostbusters car, I probably would have told you, yeah, that sounds about right.
Makes sense for us. It's a logical progression.
So have you all been friends for a while?
Yeah.
Since we moved here.
That's good. That's a while.
Heck yeah. And so he got my trust now, so I'm in for the long run.
What kind of events do y'all go out?
Well, we've when I first put this together, I was invited to the 2 hospice events, and this is before I had put a group together. It was just more or less me, and I had just thrown the costume together. It wasn't quite everything. Nothing was really done yet, and the Jeep was sort of in a halfway point, but it was good enough that they wanted to see it out there, I guess. So I've done that. We've appeared with. Well, we were at the recent car show at the Sam's Club parking lot.
Yeah, the Sam's Club. Yeah.
And they've asked us also to appear at future events with them. I think they have the Cops and Robbers run coming up in November. We're going to be at. So.
Yeah.
And I want to emphasize really that we're trying to do charity work. You know what I mean? We're really trying to help people out. This is fun for us, but we really need to. I think that's why I did this. In January, we made a visit to Ardmore with the Tulsa team to visit some little guys there. The oldest one's name is Manzi. He had a medical condition where he had multiple surgeries since he was born. He was a huge Ghostbusters fan. The kid is funny. He's hilarious. He's a cool kid. And so the team in Tulsa got together and they made him his own costume and made he and his brothers their own like small little proton packs. They light it better than mine does. They're really good packs. But and I think KFDX, they did a report on it and everything. It's back in January. But that was one of the bigger things we did. It was a lot of fun. And we got to meet a lot of the other group members from the Oklahoma region. There's about 12 to 15 of us there, I think, that day. So it was really cool.
And everybody's got their own little outfits, packs and everything?
Even the kids do now. So yeah, it's really cool.
This has got to be fun, dressing up, going out, being Ghostbusters. But what's your real meaning behind doing this? You've got to have some kind of cause, right?
Yeah, like I said, I was inspired by these other groups. Like there's a group in Dallas-Fort Worth, the DFW team, and there's the Arizona Ghostbusters. The Louisiana Ghostbusters are especially great at what they do. They raise lots of money, lots of awareness. I was just looking for a way to try to find a way to help in a way that I could in a weird way. But I just combined together with things that we're into, and like I said, it makes the kids smile and laugh. It makes their parents laugh. I think a lot of times the parents are more familiar with it than their kids are, but you'd be surprised. A lot of kids recognize it too. But, I mean, our goal this year, we have some plans. We'll probably discuss that in the future whenever we get things figured out. But we're hoping to visit some children and more of that mostly. Possibly some charity drives and things like that. That's what our real goal is for this year.
Do you got any websites, Facebook page, some people can get in contact with you if they want to
we're on Facebook. Facebook is the Texhoma Ghostbusters. That's TEXHOMA Ghostbusters. You'll recognize our logo on there. It's like a modified Ghostbuster symbol. And just go ahead and add us and send us a message especially if you have any ideas. If you know some kids that would like to visit with us and maybe need some cheering up or anything like that, please let us know. That's what we're here for. We're available.
Yeah. So you did say you're doing this for charity. So it's not going to cost people to call you out, is it?
Absolutely not. Okay. No. We don't accept money for anything. This is for fun. And like I said, I'm inspired by these other groups that have just become huge. They're doing amazing things. And that's what we're trying to do for this community here.
Sounds like y'all got some real good reasoning behind what you're doing. It sounds great.
Yeah.
Well, have y'all caught any real ghosts yet?
I've heard about some real ghosts.
We heard some stories, man. And as of right now, I'm just trying to stay away as of right now. So just investigating right now.
Yeah, something about this costume just kind of brings out everyone's ghost story.
Yeah, that's one thing. You know what? At first we weren't sure to think, but now I think it's become interesting to hear people's different stories. There's so much to this community. There's so much, I guess, backstory and history. It's like a lot of it sort of like fantasy and with the reality of Wichita Falls history. And it's really interesting.
Well, I found this out yesterday. You know Zell's Diamond Store?
Yeah.
They originally started here in Wichita Falls.
Really?
Yeah, I
I
didn't
Wow.
know that either. Until yesterday.
Oh, that's awesome.
Learn something new every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. You pick up any girls in the Ghostbuster mobile?
I
imagine they just be falling
pretty
off.
much married, so that's
Yeah.
an
Okay.
impossibility.
Heck
Okay.
yeah.
We won't even get into that.
Heck yeah.
I think. Yeah, I think we're all occupied.
Yeah.
Although my wife would probably she'd probably think it was hilarious, wouldn't care. But
Yeah.
Did she ever dress up with y'all and go out?
she's planning on it. It's just her work schedule. But I mean,
Yeah.
she does a lot of the others, like a lot of the behind the scenes work with me. You know what I mean? To get the website, the Facebook up and
Yeah.
the business cards and things like that. So she's taking care of a lot of that for us.
She's kind of like the secretary, right?
Yeah.
You gotta have one.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
So we're talking about the car. What you got?
the
Future
60
plans?
The 63 ambulance. The real one of the reasons we want to restore this car is it looks more like the movie car. A lot of people, the Jeep. People like the Jeep. I like my Jeep. But there's nothing quite like seeing the actual car on the road.
Yeah.
People's faces light up. It's just crazy, you know. Because the Tulsa team has their car. We appeared with them in their 1961 Ectomobile in Ardmore, and it was like a town event. We shut Ardmore down for like 4 hours because the people coming out, we couldn't get that car back on the trailer and leave. It took us hours to get out of there, and it's just fun for everybody to see it. And also, we just need the room in the vehicle. The Jeep, there's not enough room for all of us and all of our gear in one vehicle. And if we could get that larger car finished, we could possibly add a fourth member. I know people keep asking about a fourth member. We'd like to actually add one.
Yeah, I was
We
going to
just
ask you
have
about
room
that.
for one right now. But that car would help a lot in that regard. And we do have like a little like funding GoFundMe type page set up for it. The link is on our Facebook if you're interested. It's just something to consider. It's not like a big issue with me, but it's just there in case anyone wanted to help us out a little bit and get that thing back on the road quicker. And as soon as it's done, we plan to basically almost like tour that thing to as many children's hospitals and things that they would like to have us visit, you know, to get that thing ready and back on the road. So,
And I know it looks pretty beat up. Is the engine in any decent condition?
you know, that motor is compromised because it's a propane conversion, and I think the motor would have to be converted back or dumped.
Yeah.
But I'm looking for a welder that can help me put new floor pans in the front. I'm looking for someone that would have a 63 or 64 Cadillac front clip and bumper I need, because it'll take a normal Cadillac part, you know. But that's mainly it. As far as the body panel restoration, I'm doing that myself.
Yeah.
It's just been pretty hot lately, so
Yeah, no doubt.
it's like too hot to work on it. But then if it does rain, it just deteriorates the car even more.
Yeah.
So.
Well, maybe if there's a welder out there right now listening.
Yeah, we need a welder that would
Get in
like
touch
to
with you.
help us out here, because anybody that helps us with the car, I mean, they're going to get full credit. Be it an individual, a business. We plan to print a large like stand-up marquee to take with us to events that has everyone's name or business or whatever information they personally want listed on there for helping us out. So I mean, they'll definitely get credited for it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So, oh yeah, you were telling me about the packs. They take up a lot of room in your little Jeep Cherokee. How much they weigh?
They weigh somewhere, 30 to 35 pounds?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How I explained it, I said that it's like having a high school backpack with 2 algebra books and a history book on your back, basically.
But no Hope and Spirit guys.
Yeah. That's how I discuss it. So.
And they look so realistic.
Oh,
I was looking at them earlier.
Thank
It's just, how'd you put them together? Just like the car?
It's just, like I said, most of it's an illusion. You just sort of disguise your source parts. It's all about, achieving the fantasy of it. Some of the parts are Army surplus, like the Alice frame, like the rucksack frame it sets on. Hoses, little parts, they all come from like hardware stores locally. They're all mostly locally built. So there's the main plastic shell, which is like a vac pull shell built on a wood replica that they sell online. You can kind of buy and build onto, but it's just a lot of work, a lot of time. And just PVC pipe and lights you can get at dollar stores, just solder it together and get as close as you can to the movie.
Yeah.
Now, you may not want to talk about this, and it's
Uh-oh.
okay if you don't, but how much money do you think you've put into the car and the packs altogether?
Oh, man, that's
Do
a
you even
good-
want to talk about that? Have you
it's
thought
not-
about it?
It's not even an issue.
Yeah.
It's all been worth it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's
No doubt about
I
that.
just hope
but is
my
there a
wife ain't
number
listening
you
right
kinda base it around, like.
It's a little
It looks
more,
great. It looks
thank
like
you.
it's.
a little more. Over a span of a year, it stretches out. It doesn't seem like a lot.
Yeah.
But if you were to do this all at once, one chunk of money, it would have seemed like a lot.
Yeah.
You know, but it's been spread over a year. It's not too bad.
Not
that
that
way.
bad, yeah. Well, cool. So you can check out pictures online. We've got the packs, and I thought it was really cool. What was the little thing you threw on the ground with the pedal?
That was the ghost trap.
Ghost trap,
Our ghost
yes.
trap. Yeah, it's made from a lot of good little parts too.
It looked amazing. Check it
you.
out online, 1063thebuzz.com. I guess just one more question before we go. Marcus, what's been your favorite thing so far with this group? What have you...
Actually, man, just DJing in my pack and my suit, and people would give me the double take.
Yeah.
The first time I did that was at the car show at Sam's about a month ago, and I was in regular outfit at first, and then whenever they rolled up, I ran and I changed, and people double take like, whoa, you were a Ghostbuster too? I was like, man, I gotta keep these jobs, man.
That's the way it did. Brandon, you got a favorite time or event so far?
Well, we're still just starting out, so we don't have too many real events under our belt just yet. But whenever anyone sees us out in the car or the costume or something like that, it always gets a really big reaction. People seem to get a really big kick out of it, and I think that's what it's really kind of at its core what it's all about. Just giving back to the community.
And Mark, you got something special that you've really enjoyed so far? Or?
Well, of course, the Ardmore visit with Manzi and his brothers. That's definitely my favorite part of it. But just the fact that I've made like good friends since we've done this. It's made us hang out more. You know what I mean? And it's like I guess you don't make no person doesn't make a lot of friends over 30, but I have because of this, and it's been a lot of fun. It's been great.
Yeah.
So.
Alrighty, guys. Thanks for coming up here and talking to me tonight. So.
Oh yeah.
It's been great. Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Time.
I might have to give you an application, man.
Oh yeah, let me know. I'm down.
Looking for that fourth member.
Yeah, I'm game. Let's do it. Well, thank y'all. Hopefully get y'all back up here sometime.
Oh, that'd be great.
Talk again about future events. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Anytime.